Hi everyone, we are here for a new measurement lesson. So our first lesson that we did, we talked all about the height. We talked about how tall something was and if something was shorter or taller. Now today we are talking all about the length. So we're talking about how long something is, if something is longer or shorter. So we are going to move into this activity. So it's very much like the first one where I'm going to be asking you questions, and I would like you to either pause the video if you need some thinking time, or if you're able to just talk through the video with me, you're welcome to do that as well. Remember, I said distance learning cannot stop us from learning about measurement. So we are here for a new lesson all about length. So I hope that you are excited. So the vocabulary word that we're going to talk about first is, of course, the word length. When we measure length, we measure how long or how short an object is. So let me move myself up here now. There we go. The marker is 5 cubes long. So remember with the height, we were going up. Now with the length, we are going out this way. So you'll notice the cubes are no longer going up, but they are laying down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes long. And just like last time we talked about our tools, tools are objects that we can use to measure the length of something. You recognize these from the lesson we did with height. We used cubes to measure. We used teddy bears to measure. And another thing that you can use to measure are pennies, which might be something that you have around your own house. And we will also be talking about comparing, just like we did with our lesson on Monday. So when we compare, we can compare two different objects and we can say which object is longer. The marker is longer than the crayon. So if you look right here, remember when we did this with height and we did our air circles? So the marker is circled because it is longer than the crayon. Now remember, we could also reverse that. So we can compare two objects and we can say which one is shorter. The crayon is shorter than the marker. So you can see the big circle is around the crayon because it is shorter than the marker. Now let's practice our activity together. How many cubes long is the paper clip? So remember, we're going out instead of up. So we're going out now. So we're going to, I want you to think about this and think about one of these cubes and think about how many cubes long, so going this way, is the paper clip. Go ahead and lock your thought in and then you can share it out. How many cubes long is the paper clip? We line up the cubes starting at one end of the paper clip and finish at the other end. So we can start right here. I always like to start from the left because that's how we read. When we read a story or a book, we read from left to right. So I always like to line cubes up that way also. So we start at the left and we line them up to measure how long the paper clip is. Now we're going to count the cubes. So go ahead and count the cubes. And if you notice, just like when we did our activity on Monday, it has the sentence, the paper clip is how many blank cubes long? Go ahead and say the answer out loud. The paper clip is 5 cubes long. Did you say 5 cubes? Nice job. Go ahead and read that sentence with me. The paper clip is 5 cubes long. If we count the cubes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent measuring. Oh, let's move me down here now. I hope you're not getting dizzy with all this moving. How many cubes long is the pencil? So you can see this long pencil. The pencil is laying down on its side. How many cubes long? So remember the length, we are going out. So I want you to think about these cubes, make an estimate, which remember in my class we say we make a smart guess on how many cubes long is this pencil. Do you have it? Did you say it out loud? We line up the cubes starting at one end of the pencil and finish on the other end. So again, I always like to go from left to right. So we started right here on the left and we lined them up going this way all the way to the tip of the pencil. Now, count the cubes. Go ahead and count them for me. The pencil is how many cubes long? Go ahead and say your answer. Did you say the pencil is 9 cubes long? Let's double check our work. It's always good to go back and double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The pencil is 9 cubes long. Everyone say self. You are so amazing. Great job. How many cubes long is the crayon? Go ahead and look at this green crayon right here, and I want you to think about how many cubes would it take to measure out the green crayon to match the length. Go ahead and say your answer out loud. We line up the cubes starting at one end. Remember, Mrs. Miller likes to start on the left. And we finish on the other end. So here we are, we've matched them up right below the crayon. Now count the cubes. I'm gonna move myself again. The crayon is how many cubes long? Go ahead and say it. The crayon is 4 cubes long. Did you say 4 cubes? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice work. Ooh, look at this. We're measuring with pennies now. This is going to be fun. How many pennies long is the pair of scissors? So I want you to think about a penny. Maybe some of you have a lucky penny at home. This reminds me of our Love Bug song. It's just like a magic penny. Okay, I'm getting off topic, sorry. How many pennies long is the pair of scissors? So go ahead and think about this picture right here. Remember, it's not just a pair of scissors at home, it's specifically this picture. And I want you to think, how many pennies is it going to take to get from the left side to the right side? Go ahead and say your estimate, say your number. We line up the pennies starting on one end of the scissors and finishing on the other end. Of course, I like to go from left to right. So we start here and we line them up until we get to the other end. Now, count the pennies. Go ahead and count the pennies. How many do you see? The scissors are how many pennies long? Did you say 6? The scissors are 6 pennies long. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Way to go. Everyone say self. You are fabulous. Nice job. Coming back down here now. We line up the pennies starting on one end of the toothbrush and finish on the other end. So I want you to think about how many pennies long is the toothbrush. Go ahead and count the pennies now. The toothbrush is how many? Say it out loud. How many pennies long? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The toothbrush is 7 pennies long. 2 thumbs up if you got 7. Nice job. Okay, now we are moving on to the next activity. You will be familiar with this from our lesson from Monday. We are going to compare the length. So one item is going to be longer and one item is going to be shorter. Now remember about your air circle. You're going to do an air circle. This does not mean you're going to take a pen or a marker or a pencil and actually write on your device. No way, Jose. An air circle means you're just with your finger going to point to which object answers the question correctly and put an air circle around that object. Easy peasy. In my class, we say lemon squeezy. So we're going to circle the object that is shorter. I want you to look at these 2 objects. Which object is shorter? Go ahead and put a big circle around the one that is shorter, an air circle. Did you circle it? The pen is shorter than the spoon. Go ahead and read that sentence with me. The pen is shorter than the spoon. So we put a big air circle around the pen. Okay, here's your next one. Circle the object that is longer. So I want you to put an air circle around the object that is longer. Did you circle it? Which one was it? Were you right? The pencil is longer than the crayon. 2 thumbs up if you agree that you can tell that the pencil is longer than the crayon. See how much longer the pencil is? Very nice job. Circle the object that is shorter. So look at your 2 objects. You have an eraser and a marker. Put an air circle around the one that is shorter. Did you get it? Did you pick the eraser? The eraser is shorter than the marker. So we put an air circle around the eraser. You guys are doing so awesome. Everyone say self. You are a measuring expert. Very nice job. Circle the object that is longer. So I want you to look at these 2 objects. Which one is longer? Go ahead and put your air circle around the one that is longer. The fork is longer than the scissors. Did you guess that? I can't even trick you guys if I try. You guys are so awesome. Ooh, now it's time for our game. Are you ready? Just like last time. Now it's your turn. What objects can you find around your house to measure and compare lengths? So just like you did on Monday, I would like you to go around your house today, and I would like you to find 3 objects that you can measure. Maybe you have pennies that you can use to measure something. Maybe you have little Lego pieces. Maybe you have anything you can use to measure. Maybe you have stuffed animals and you can line your stuffed animals up to see how long your couch is or how long a table is. That would be fun. So I want you to find 3 items that you can measure, and then I want you to compare the lengths of 3 different items. So you can find different items around your house. Maybe you're going to find a book and a phone. A book and a phone. And you're going to put them next to each other, and you are going to compare the lengths of the 2 books. Actually, it would go more like this. Can you see that? You're going to compare the lengths of the book and the phone to see which one is longer. So go ahead and do that. Find 3 items. Remember, if you would like to send a picture to your teacher of an item that you found or a picture of you comparing lengths, you are welcome to do so. Your teachers absolutely love seeing your amazingly cute faces. But you absolutely do not have to. But I would love for you to find 3 things that you can measure and 3 things that you can compare length. So I hope you guys have so much fun finding those items, and I will see you for our next lesson. Bye, everyone.